What up, DayZ fans? This is your fellow zombie killing hero, King Ace. We are here in Chernarus right now, and I want to address the title of our video. While I sit here real quick, we have some news on the Phantoms of the Pines server, the server that I'm usually on. I went hiatus on playing DayZ for a little while. I got into another video game, and I wasn't coming back on for a while because I was wrapped up in another game. You know, I do play other games besides DayZ. I also play GTA. I also play wrestling video games. I play, sports games, hockey games, things like that. Other games that I don't stream. But I also recently acquired Hogwarts Legacy, and I got really wrapped up in that game. It's a really good game. I highly suggest it. But due to the event of that, me playing Hogwarts for so long and not being on DayZ, Electric Ramen, the server owner of Phantoms of the Pines, had decided that since nobody was playing on the server no more, that he would end the server. He would stop payment on it, and he would let the server end. I believe the server ended today. I'm not quite sure. That server and the servers that I play on with those guys, that server will be missed. I had a lot of fun playing on there. I had a lot of fun building amazing bases with those guys. I had a lot of fun killing zombies and just doing random stuff, checking out Skahal, checking out Livonia that I wasn't too familiar with at first, and just having fun here in Chernarus. I'm still friends with all those guys. We still have our Phantoms chat open, and I still chat with these guys on the regular. I'm sure I'll be playing either DayZ or other games with Scout and with Ramen and with Spacey and Draco. I'm sure I'll be playing many video games with these guys, not just DayZ. I still have much love for those guys. There's no bad fallout whatsoever. You know what I mean? So it's nothing anything bad that happened. It's not like we got kicked off the server or anything like that. He just decided to shut it down, and I can totally understand that. It's expensive to keep one of these servers going, and if I had if I had the resources and the funds to pay for my own server, I would do so in a heartbeat, and I would make it the best server that you can imagine. I have ideas, for how to make a server, but I just don't know how to do it. I know how I would want to do it, but I just don't know how to do it, and I don't have the resources to do so. And by resources, I mean I don't own any kind of PC. I just own the consoles. Yeah, I don't have a PC to mod the server on, and I don't have the knowledge to do that either. Like I'm not educated in how to do that. But I'm sure if I had a PC, I could figure it out. You know what I'm saying? But I just don't have a PC, and nowadays they can be pretty expensive for a halfway decent one, and you need a really decent one, I think, to run DayZ properly. But like I said, it's the end of an era, from the Phantoms of the Pines era, and the beginning of a new era. And really I should have put a question mark at the end of that one, because really it's like, is this a permanent server that I'm going to stay on? Who knows? It could be. The server owner, I don't know if it's a server owner or just an admin. I'm not quite 100% sure on that. But I spoke to him via PlayStation chat, and you know, I was coming on random, I was going on random servers just to try to find a server that, you know, I could have fun on, and I came on this server, and I was going to check it out and everything like that. I found myself a car. I had myself a little bit of materials that I can build with, and I was really just going to make, you know, a small little base, and in one of these sheds here in the industrial region. And he messaged me on PlayStation Network saying, how do you like the server? And I said, you know, it's cool. I mean, so far I haven't been on there that long, so from what I've seen, it was cool. Driving up the coast, there's all kinds of cool little checkpoints, and I really like how he did the checkpoints. And I know some people that might not like the checkpoints because it interrupts their flow and it interrupts their, you know, their course of traveling down the road or whatever. But me personally, I kind of like the checkpoints, because once you hit a checkpoint there, you have to get out of your car or vehicle, you have to go and open the gate, and then get back in your vehicle, drive through the gate, and maybe open up the other gate on the other side if there is one, or open them both up at the same time. But what that does to me, what I feel, I don't know if this is correct, I don't know if this is actually correct, but the way I feel that it's better for that to happen is because you stop the car, you let things load in to the game around you, opening up the doors and whatnot, getting back into your car. And I think it creates less lag when you're driving, because when you drive for a long period of time, I've noticed in this game, when you drive all the way up and down the coast, you know, at first you're not going to be lagging as much, but once you get to, you know, a certain distance or whatever, it's going to start lagging more, especially if you're reaching higher speeds. And I think that keeps it less laggy. But anyway, he offered to spawn me in something, you know, and you know me, I don't really ask for much. You know, I'll take what I can get, but I don't really ask for much, you know. And he spawned me in, you know, a little builders section. I'll show you around here in a bit. But he spawned me in a little builder section, little builders sheds, a couple of them really, and they've got everything that I need to build with, and it's fantastic. I love it, and I appreciate it 100%. But the one thing that is left out of it, and I don't know, maybe they did it on purpose, or maybe they want you to go get, you know, your own flags somewhere, but it lacks flags. I don't have a flag to put up. You know, it's got everything else that you need to build with. It doesn't have any stone, but again, the stone is, you know, highly easy to acquire anyway. It's literally anywhere you can find a rock. So, I mean, that's not a big deal either. But, you know, not having a flag, I can see, because there's so many different flags to choose from. But he's got a trader. So, story time about the trader situation. So, every once in a while you'll see it pop up on the screen in red lettering saying that, you know, first time people can go to the trader and, you know, have your first time going through the trader and get what you need or whatever. You know, first time is a freebie. So I had a vehicle at the time. I had a Olga, and it was it's a wine colored Olga, the dark red one. And I drove it all the way to Radio Zenit, where the trader is, and there's like a little welcome area where there's snacks and static zombies that don't move, and static bears and animals that don't move. There's all kinds of snacks and foods and drinks there that you can get, and so I guess it's a little waiting area. No big deal. Then there's the trader up at Zenit, and you can see it's all walled off and whatever, and it has a big huge tunnel leading to it and all that. And you know, I drive up the tunnel. I don't even bother to get out of the car because I noticed that the trader was locked. Okay, so I was like, all right, it's locked. You know, nobody's here to let me in. No big deal. I'll turn around and I'll leave. And what was my plan on that point? I left the trader. I drove back down to the shore. And my plan was I was going to drive up and down the shore, stopping at like industrial places and things like that to try to find a flag. So my girlfriend decides that she wants to jump on here as well, on this server with me. She was currently playing on other servers, you know, jumping around to other servers trying to find someone that she likes to play on. So she finally jumps on this server with me, and where she spawns in at is right at Radio Zenit. She spawns in there. And I said, okay, babe, I'll come back and I'll pick you up. No problem. Just wait at the welcome center or whatever. So she's exploring the area, looking around and whatever, yada, yada, yada. She walks up to where the trader is and noticed that it isn't even locked. The lock is on, but it's not locked. She opens it up and goes inside and, you know, starts having, you know, helping herself to you know, trader stuff. So I made my way back there while she was looking around the trader and everything. And, you know, I was like, okay, well, let's just grab some things that we need. You know, we're not greedy people. We're not going to grab, like, everything in you know, in the store and things like that. And, we didn't want to trash the place or anything like that. But something happened. Okay, and we'll get that at in a minute. But, you know, I'm like, hey, babe, grab a couple of flags. Grab 2 flags so we can have 2 flags at our base. And, you know, grab some tents and some barrels. And that's really all that I really cared about. Maybe a couple of tents and some barrels. You know, and she's wanting to grab guns. And I'm like, well, you know, we can grab a couple of guns too while we're here. Why not? You know what I mean? So let's grab a couple of guns. And apparently there's a trader truck. And I thought the truck was just left there for taking or whatever. So I grabbed the truck. Okay, thinking it was okay to take the truck. I kind of figured, you know, I kind of had a figuring thing in my mind that it was a trader truck and that it wouldn't stay with us anyway, but it was a easy way of carrying back some gear, you know, that we had. Plus, there was another Olga in Berezino that I saw earlier, and I was like, hey, babe, when we get back to the base, we can drop off the truck and we can go get your car. So that I have a car, and you have a car, and we have a truck. Okay, so we do all that. Get back to our base or whatever, and I get a message from the server owner, admin or whatever. His name is I don't know his full handle, but it's Demon Boy with numbers at the end. I can't remember the numbers off the top of my head. But you know, he was asking about the trader, who was in it, and if you were in it. I, you know, am a truthful person. I said, yeah, that was us. And he's like, who trashed it? And I was like, you know, that might have been us. But the thing about that is, I said I was going to get back to that, was that while we were looking around for stuff and I was trying to grab a couple of tents, there is a holographic tent thing. I don't know what it is. I've seen them before. You can pick them up and you can put them down, but if you pick them up and put them down, it causes a blue screen to happen in your game. You know, after a few moments, your game, a blue screen. I knew that this was going to happen. I didn't want to pick it up. I accidentally picked it up. I was trying to pick up a tent. When my icon was hovering over that icon of the tent, it kind of shifted, and he picked up the holographic tent thing. So we were blue screening. I blue screened out, tried to log back in. My girlfriend blue screened out. She tried to log back in. I think I blue screened again. And then I logged back in. And we were just like, look, we got to get out of here. I had a fire barrel and everything, and I was going to burn everything that was on the ground and everything like that. I did not want to leave it trashed, but we kept blue screening, so I just wanted to get out of there. and that was the only reason why I left it in the condition that I left it in. Um, he goes and bans me from the server. So I chat with him on PlayStation Network, saying, "Hey man, why'd you ban me? You know, I mean, like, my bad. Like, I won't go up the trader anymore. You know, just unban me because I was liking your server and I don't want to be banned. And I'm not trying to be a douchebag or a hoarder or anything crazy like that. I just want to have fun and build a base, and kill some zombies. This is what I like to do." And he let me back on the server, I guess, and unbanned me, I guess. And when I came back on, see, when the ban had happened, it was a server reset, and apparently when I tried to get back on after the reset, I was banned. Well, before the server reset happened, I had a temporary gate opened in the back so I can get logs in and out easier for the other part of the base that I was working on. And it was left open. And when I came back on, all my vehicles were gone. All of our vehicles were gone. My car, her car, and the truck that we had were gone. Demon Boy said that the truck was a trader truck, and that it's not going to stay there. So that's understandable. But what about my cars? What happened to my cars? And nothing in the base was touched. Nothing was taken. Nothing was destroyed. I assumed that somebody came in the back gate and destroyed my cars, because you weren't going to get the cars out of here because they were in here. You're not going to get them out of here without breaking down that gate or picking the lock. And if you pick the lock, and if you pick the combo, why leave it? Why close it back up again on your way out? Why not just leave it open? You know what I mean? Like, it didn't make any sense to me. So then when I figured out was that he did a small wipe. And when he did a small wipe, it wiped out the cars. So that made sense to me. Wasn't no big deal for me, personally, because out of my car that I had, I got everything out of it. I had sea chests, 4 sea chests in my Olga, and they were filled with stuff that I took the sea chest out of the Olga when I got back. What we lost was the stuff that was in the truck and what was in Heather's Olga, Love Pink's Olga. But this truck right here was sitting in our yard, and I was like, well, if they came here in this truck and destroyed my other truck and my cars, and they left their truck here, you know what I mean? I thought maybe they left the truck here, but really, in reality, this truck just spawned here. You know what I'm saying? It just spawned here. So I just collected the truck. So then, everything else has been fine, with the server since. And I wasn't able to get 2 flags because Heather, Love Pink, she only wound up grabbing 1, even though I wanted her to grab 2. But that's okay. Maybe later on down the line I can get back to the trader when Demon Boy is on, and maybe he can help me out by giving me a flag. I just need maybe 1 or another 2 wolf flags, and that would be, great. Not super important. I've got 1 flag up, and I hope that does the trick. But this is our little base that we have going on. I'll show you around. I'm starting in here because this is the garage. This wasn't the original spot that I had for my base, but I'll show you that in a minute. Once you're inside the base, everything is connected. Everything is connected. There's 3 gates to it. This is the garage gate right here that gets us into the garage, where Love Pink has her car, and we have our crew truck. This is for the whole crew, And you have to know that you know, if you've seen our videos before, you have to know that, you know, we're not alone. We're not. It's just not just me and Love Pink. We have other people involved in our crew. Okay, we have the Yellow Flash, we have Whitefire Dragon, we have Deathly Raven, we have Dead Guy, we have Dead Girl, we have Vedrex, and those are just people that are directly linked to my squad. You know what I'm saying? Those are just people that are directly linked to the 1420 squad. But there's also the Phantoms. They're also part of our squad. If they ever decide to come on here, they probably won't. But we also have, you know, Scout and Grommen, and we have Draco, and we have Spacey. We have, you know, other people that were also affiliated with that server, and they're all our peoples. And if I forgot to mention any of you, I'm sorry, but we have quite a crew here on DayZ. Granted, I'm probably the one who plays on here the most, you know, and I'm possibly viewed as the leader. I don't know. We never really claimed who's the leader of what, but I'm probably the leader of the crew. I do have them out of everybody that is in our direct crew. The ones that I mentioned that are in a direct crew. I'm not sure about Spacey and Ramen and all them that are in the Phantoms, but as directly part of the 1420 crew, I've been playing DayZ the longest. Like, hands down, without a shadow of a doubt. I've probably been playing longer than most of them combined. So, yeah. But we're not the only ones, so just know that when I say this is a crew vehicle, I don't mean it's just mine or Love Pink's. This is the whole entire crew's vehicle. Just like, you know, if I say that this is Heather's car, this is Love Pink's car, that's Love Pink's car. No one else is driving it. I have my own car that no one else is driving. I have an ADA, and my ADA is parked elsewhere. It's not parked in here. I'll show you that in a minute. But we also have a crew vehicle. That's just a regular crew vehicle that anybody can drive as part of our crew, but we use it for we'll use it for missions and things like that when we're going on a mission all together, and we don't want to destroy one of our own personal vehicles. And I'll show you what that is in a minute. But yeah, here we have our garage, and mostly, you know, we have our car part stuff going on in here so we can repair our cars. I'm not sure what Heather has going on in these other tents. Love Pink, I don't know what she has going on in these other tents, but this brown one here is our car parts tent. So yeah, she's got stuff going on. This is like our little mini kitchen here. We got some food in there, a little bit of food, and a couple other random stuff that I brought back with me. This is my office, our little office right here. And this is just like the first part of the little base. These buildings here, I will say, I absolutely love for making bases in. You know, you need minimum effort to make one of these places into your base. You put a door right there, you slap a wall covering up that door right there, or you can even make it into a gate if you wanted to, allowing for back access to your base. But these things make great bases, and if you wanted to make it even more secure, I mean, you could board up the windows if you really wanted to, but it's not really necessary because you can't jump over these anyway. You can't even if you could jump up there, you can't get through the windows. I know because I've tried those windows up there, I've tried those windows over there. You can't get through them in any which way. So these things make great bases. You know, you lock them up and I think they make great bases. In my own personal opinion, you're free to have your own opinions. Furthermore, this area, like I've never really built a base up in this area before. You know what I'm saying? But if you don't know the area, I'll show it to you right now on the map. This is the area. Okay. And right here, if I zoom in, I can show you. I don't know if you can see my mouse pointer. You probably can. You probably can't. I don't know. but our base stems from this building that I'm currently in. Okay, there's like a little catwalk area right here. There's a building here that's part of our base, and a building here that's part of our base. And then if you go across this catwalk here, this part here is part of our base as well. This is where I have my car parked. This is where we have the crew vehicle parked. Right here in the middle of all this is where our little builder's supply is. And then this is another part of our base right here. Okay. Might incorporate this part here later on. I don't know. I mean, we could. It's a toss-up. We might not. Who knows? But I'm working on building up just right here, right now. And I decided to do this live stream today because, well, I'm off of work for today and I really don't have any plans to do anything today. So I decided to make a little live stream, show you around, inform you about the Phantoms of the Pine server and how it is being, you know, how it's probably no more. I don't think it's up anymore, which is sad because I had a really good, you know, base going on there that Ramen helped me put together, and it was real fun building that base, and I had a lot of fun, you know, every time I build a new base and things like that, I learn something. I always find like I learn something, learn how to build something, learn how to do things differently, how to build things differently. And I like to call myself the architect on DayZ because I really like coming up with base designs. I really like coming up with really cool base designs, you know, really cool base layouts, and that's basically my specialty. And I'm going to show you around here a little bit. I showed you around in here. We're going to come out here to the yard. Okay, the yard is where we have all of our building supplies. So here's the yard, and here's our building supplies that Demon Boy gave us. We've got planks. That's actually 2 piles of planks in one. We've got fire extinguishers. We got, you know, ice pick here. We got more. We got a bunch of logs here. We've got another 2 stacks of lumber here. We've got another stack of logs here. We got a bunch of camo nets, sheet metal. You know, everything you need to build, you know, a functional base. You got your you've got your crowbars. You've got pickaxes, shovels, all the good stuff. And he put all this stuff in for me, and I'm very grateful for him putting this in. It really makes things a lot more easier to build with, and I love the build in this game. I know a lot of people might be surprised at the fact that I love building in this game, but I do. It's just weird that, you know, I'm probably the only one that enjoys building a really cool base. Maybe I'm not. I don't know. I could be wrong, but I just really like building a cool base, and I love how he gave me all this stuff to put in all this stuff for me to build with, and I'm going to have a lot of fun continuing to build here. So we built up our walls here double high, you know, keeps the zombies out, and keeps the troublemakers out too. And we built a double wall up high over here, and I really like this area because you can close this in this way, and you can close it in this way over here. If you can pull this off, especially like if you can pull this off without this stuff here, it would still be an amazing base because it connects everything. You know, it connects everything. So I have all this boarded up here. I've got a watchtower here that goes up and I can see out of pretty well. Boarded all that up, closed off all of this, and it really works right here really good. You know, even if you couldn't board off the yard, if you can just board off all of these right here in the same fashion that this is, it's a pretty decent base, you know, and it's damn near impregnable, you know, without, you know, destroying the walls or whatever. If you have no damage on, you ain't gonna get in it, you know, unless they turn the damage on. Up top, right up there that you see, I'm currently working on. We'll get to that in a second, but I want to give you the proper tour of everything here. We'll start over here at the other section across the catwalk, so you can really see. Let's get a good view from the tower, from if you're up on this tower. You know, you got the camo net kind of in your way, blocking things, but I can see out of it, and I can see what's going on. But, yeah. You know. And then you come up here, this little catwalk here. And I like it because you're flush level with it right here. So you can see anybody that's over here. If anybody's like, hey, what you doing in there? And you can be like, hey, what's up? You know, you can see a zombie over there. And you come up here, and you go across this little catwalk. Okay. I put this little watchtower here. The start of this little watchtower here with the steps going up, so you can get up to this roof. Normally you couldn't jump up here. From up here, you couldn't jump up from down there, so I had to, you know, build some steps to get up here, you know. And then you have access to this area via this window. And what I'm planning on doing, hopefully, is I always like to put hopefully in front of what I'm planning on doing on DayZ, because you always need to put that hopefully on DayZ, because what can go wrong will go wrong usually in this game. So a 5-minute project will turn into like an hour. You know, if you know, you know. You know what I'm saying? But what hopefully I plan on doing here is putting up walls all along here to make it a little more safer to traverse on here. So maybe you're not falling down, you know, by accident. So, you know, come in through this window here, and boom, you have access to here. Okay, you can see my ATA, my car, just chilling. It's just chilling in there. It's locked in via gate. If you know these buildings, you know there isn't really much going on in here. There's nothing in here other than that ATA right there, my car. So I don't, and you know, there's a little watchtower over there built, and I got the gate built up over there and gated off with my lock. There isn't anything else down here. There's no barrels, or there's no tents in there, or nothing like that in there. At least not yet. I haven't found my own tents for myself yet. I have 2 tents, and I have 2 large tents and a medium tent. That's just myself. The other tents are Love Pink's. She found those tents, and that's how we roll on our server. That's how we roll, not on our server, but that's how we roll on our team. You know, if you find it, it's yours. You know what I mean? If you want it to be community, you can make it community. That's up to you. But if you find it, it's yours. You know, no one on the server, no one on our team is going to take anything away from you. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, these are both Heather's, Love Pink's tents, and the ones in here are also Love Pink's tents. With the exception of the brown one here being our car parts tent, or, you know, our garage tent, basically, where it holds our car parts. That's community. I found this white tent right here, but I also nominated it to be community, so we can put all of our building supplies and things like that we need. Any kind of supplies that we need, we can just throw in here. And I got some crates built up and lined up in here for added storage. So this is basically community for everybody that's on our faction. This barrel I stuck here because I found this barrel and it was badly damaged when I found it, and I stuck it here open to collect rainwater, so we can have drinkable water. But if you go up the stairs here, you go to where my large tent is. This is my large tent here, and I have a medium tent here. The medium tent here I originally found in a house or something like that, somewhere in a shed or something. I found this, and it was badly damaged, and I found duct tape and I repaired the whole thing myself. I feel real proud of myself. This tent that I found was also slightly damaged, but I repaired it all up as well. You know, doors and everything included. I repaired them all, and I repaired all the little windows. So, you know, I feel accomplished. I feel more accomplished when you find something like this and you repair it. You know what I mean? It just feels good. And then I have another, one of my personal tents down here, over here. And I haven't really used it for personal use yet. I think I just have more building supplies in here. Yeah, just more building supplies in here from when we were building all of this. So yeah, this is our little courtyard. Okay. And I'll bring you up top to that up top of that place in a second, because that's where we're gonna be building at. So we're gonna be spending a little more time over there. So I'm gonna take you around to the other parts of the base and show you everything else. If you climb up this here ladder, and I know that you're vulnerable when you're climbing up this ladder from, you know, other players possibly shooting you or shooting at you while you're up here. So that can be a little dangerous. Hopefully they understand that I'm not really a PvP person. And I'm not here to really, you know, shoot at anybody or kill anybody for that matter. You know, I'm just you know, I'm just a survivor. You know what I mean? I just like to survive and play DayZ and survive and kill zombies. You know what I mean? Cause really, like, think about it. A zombie apocalypse happens. Are you gonna kill every single person, every single real person that you see? I don't think you're gonna do that in real life. I don't think in real life you're gonna go around killing every person that you see just because they have a shiny object in their pocket. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think you're gonna be doing that. And if you are, you're a terrible person. You know, you're damning, you know, the human race by doing that. You're putting us even, you know, hurting us even more if there's a zombie apocalypse and you're out here killing humans instead of the zombies. You know what I mean? That's how I feel about playing DayZ. You know, so why would you kill other players that are just trying to survive? Why would you rob and steal from players that are just trying to survive and just trying to have fun? You know what I mean? You're ruining someone's game when you're doing that, and it kind of makes you a troll. You know what I'm saying? If you're doing that, if you're coming onto a server just to raid them, just to destroy and popcorn all their loot that they've worked so hard on finding, destroying their base they worked so hard on building, and finding a location for their base, and hopefully they just want peace from everybody. They just want to go and loot and kill zombies just like I want to, and they're getting destroyed. Well, there you go. You know what I mean? If I want to go PvP, I'll play on a PvP server, or better yet, if I want to PvP, I'll go play GTA. Because it's more fun to PvP on GTA, because you die, you respawn, and you can go kill again easily. You have all your guns still and everything. You know what I mean? You die on DayZ and you gotta loot up again, and if you get killed while you're a fresh spawn, you're probably just gonna get killed as a fresh spawn again, and then killed as a fresh spawn again, and again and again and again. You know what I mean? Because people are like that on PvP servers. I've played on them before, and they're really not fun. And I've played on official servers. I've played on more official servers than you can imagine. So I'm very familiar with the official server scene. So anybody that wants to sit there and say that maybe you should think on playing on an official server, I've been playing DayZ on console since before they had community servers. They only had official servers. Okay? I had my own standalone bases on official servers. Bases that went untouched for months. Bases that never got raided. Even after, you know, many, many months, until the server finally shut down and is no longer an official server anymore. Like, that's how it is. And I've met a lot of cool people on those official servers. You know what I mean? I have stories from those official servers that last me a lifetime. You know, I've got a little canopy tent here. You know, it's got random supplies in here, nothing really too special. And down there you can see that. We'll get to that mess in a minute. But coming up here further, if you keep going up these stairs, you can get to the rooftop up here. and we don't have anything really going on. We don't have anything going on up there. There's nothing up there, no tents or anything like that up there. It's just empty right now. But if you head down here, a lot of people might not know this. I don't know if a lot of people know this, but you can hop these fences right out the window. Right out the window. And we have a little spot up here, you know. We have a little spot up here. From here, you can see our flag. There she is in her glory. So now you head down this here watchtowers that I built. Okay, this is the reason why I had a back gate open in the first place, because I was building these watchtowers. And you can come out here and you can put your flag up if you need to. Our flag's already been put up, so we're good there. And you can come down here. Okay, and very much like the other building in this sense, we're over here on this side, and you can get in through this window here. So you climb in here, and boom, you're inside. Only thing I got in here is my Humvee. Not my Humvee, but it's the crew's Humvee. It's that's the whole crew vehicle. It's the mission vehicle. If we are going out on a mission somewhere, the whole crew involved, and we don't want to risk losing one of our cars, we'll take the mission car. But yeah, you get in through here via this window. Now, one thing I hope to do in the future is, yes, board this off. Like I said, I was going to board off on the other one. I'll board this one off as well. But maybe one day what I hope to do is add that part to the addition of our base here. I kind of have a plan on how I want to do it. It's not really set in stone how I want to do that yet, but we'll see. I do know that if I did do that, there's probably a couple of different ways that you can get in there. I might have to look into boarding other things up. Who knows? But maybe eventually we can get this all connected if you want. Here you see it says restarts every 4 hours. Trader and Zenit use Discord currency. If you're new to the server, you have access to the trader for the first time, free pass. That's what it says. So if you want to join the server, join the Discord too. I'm not big on using Discord. I have Discord, I use it, but I'm not on it all the time. Like, you know what I mean? Like, only reason why I have or use Discord is basically for DayZ. For DayZ. That's the only reason why. Because some servers, they want you and require you to use Discord, which I'll join their Discord, and if I don't like their server, I'll leave their Discord like immediately. Like, you know, I'm not gonna stay on their Discord if I don't like their server. You know what I mean? And just that fact alone of having to join somebody's Discord, like forcing you to join their Discord if you want to play on their server, is just kind of, I don't know, I think it's bogus. You know what I mean? I think it's lame. I don't think you should have to join someone's Discord. Now, granted, if I had my own server, like we were talking about earlier, I would have a Discord, but I wouldn't force you to join it. I'd make things benefit better for you if you did join it. You know, hey, it benefits you if you do join it. You know what I mean? I will display the rules up in my text of red that pops up on the screen. You know what I mean? I'll display the rules, because the rules would be basic, you know, because I would own a PvE server. It would be PvE. You know what I mean? Like, my rules are like, if you want to kill other players, go to a deathmatch server. Like, if you want PvP on DayZ, a deathmatch server is your best option. It really is. Your character will come with a loadout most of the time. You'll be spawned in somewhere where they have guns everywhere, so you can find guns easily and pick them up and shoot your opponent and then die and then respawn and have a new loadout. You know what I mean? Like, those are the best servers to do PvP on. Like, I don't know why you would want to come to a server where people are not PvP players and just shoot them. Where's the fun in that? It's like going up to a baby and just like shooting him in the head because he can't defend himself, and saying, "Oh, screw you, baby! You can't defend your. You don't have a right to be playing this game." You know what I mean? Like, you don't do that. Like, I just don't think that you're nice people from if you're over here doing that. You know, I think that you know, hopefully the DayZ karma catches up to you. You know, but that's basically our whole base here in a nutshell. And I'll show you what I'm working on now. I stopped working on it to start this video and to explain everything that was going on. But this is what I've even started. This is what I've been working on as far as recently is up here. So I built this all the way up here, so it's safer for you to traverse in this area. Climbing up here. What I'm going to build here after, when everything is done building, when I'm done building everything up here, what I'm going to build here is I'm going to build a wall. I'm going to build a gate, not a gate, but I'm going to build a fence that only has the top part, so that you still have access to the ladder. I've already tested it. It works, but you have to crouch down to get onto the ladder, which I'm okay with, because you crouch down and you get onto the ladder and you can climb down. It's perfectly fine. But the reason why I don't have it there now is because if you have anything in your hand, such as that wooden crate or a sea chest or something big like that, you can't get back down. So I want to make sure that I build everything that I have, because I have a sea chest that I transport logs in, and I'm going to need to transport logs up and down, and in a sea chest, carrying up 4 logs is the best way that you can do it. Now that they've took out the 90 slot and a 64 slot, you can only fit 1 log in your damn backpack. They couldn't give us 2 more measly slots. I say this every video, but they couldn't give us 2 more slots so you can fit 2 logs in your bag. Come on, that would have been genius, especially with their new thing where they added tool on there. You know what I mean? That new tool thing that they added on your backpack, that would have made it even more better if they were just added 2 more slots to the field backpack. 2 more slots. Make it 66 instead of 64. You know what I mean? That's all you needed to do. That's all you needed to do. Let me carry 2 logs in a backpack. You just make things slower for me. So here's what we're building here. So I built safety railings all along here. You know, I've got my lights set up for nighttime vision. You know, I've got this blocked off over here, so if you want to come up that ladder, you're going to have a terrible time trying to climb up that ladder. There's barbed wire. There's a gate down the bottom, and it's barbed wired. So you're going to have to get over that barbed wire gate, probably cutting yourself. If you climb up this ladder, you're going to get hit by that first barbed wire right down there, down below. So that's going to cut you. Then you're going to get hit by that barbed wire right there, so that's going to cut you, and you're going to get cut up from those 2 before you even exit the ladder. Once you exit the ladder, boom, you're going to get caught up by those 2 pieces of barbed wire right there, cutting you even further. So you're probably looking at 4 to 5 cuts just getting up the ladder. And of course, you can't jump over these anyway, you can't vault over these anyway, so you're just going to wind up getting cut up until you decide to go back down the ladder again, which is going to cut you up from that, and then when you get down to the bottom of the ladder, what are you going to do to get out? What are you going to do to get out? At that point, you know what I mean? You don't have nothing to jump over. So you're going to be stuck there, and you might as well just die at that point. You know what I'm saying? You might as well just die. So, yeah, don't try to climb that ladder from down there. You're not going to have a fun time. So, anyway, I barbed wired all along the edge of here, all along the outside perimeter. Mainly 1, I think it looks cool, mainly, and for 2, I'm not sure that if you can get up on top of there, if you can jump over to there. I'm not sure. I didn't try it, and now that the barbed wire is there, I'm definitely not going to try it. But yeah, so we built this all up around here. I put this tent here for like storage if I needed to make any storage up here, in addition to blocking off that barbed wire from potentially cutting you on your way down. You know what I mean? Making things a little more safer for you up here. I had barbed wire on the top of this one, but if you stood too close to here, it would slice you up. So I removed the barbed wire from there. Plus it's not really needed because that part's really inside the gate of there anyway. But I have all this barbed wired around top and bottom. I have these platforms here overlooking down, and I've got this watchtower built right here. Okay, and I built the watchtower here kind of for a reason, because I wanted this wall here to connect to the watchtower so that you couldn't get in from there. You know what I mean? So yeah, I have all that built around. I thought this was pretty cool. It adds a little easy walking right up here. Of course, you can just walk easily right over here too, but you have to be all the way up closer to that edge. I'm building these up to be full walls, full fences. And all these are going to be full fences on this side too. And I think it's pretty cool how this full fence lines up with this half fence. It lines up like perfectly. Look at that. Like, I don't know if the devs did that on purpose, but it's lined up perfectly. It's just so pleasing. But okay, so then I have this wall built up all the way over here, and then the gate, fence is also connected to this right here. These two fences are going to be built up. These walls or whatever for the watchtower are going to be built up. And these are two watchtowers, obviously. And these two watchtowers are going to go all the way up until I can't build them up. Until I can't build this one up any further. It's going to basically go right into that sheet metal right there. It's going to go into that. Hopefully, I don't know. We'll see how it builds. We'll see how it goes when it gets all the way up to the top. But my thought process behind this is climbing in that window. Much like you climbed out the window to get over there, I'm hoping that you can climb in that window to get in there. That's what I'm hoping to do. If not, hey, at least I still got a pretty cool watchtower up here. And I'm building these walls all the way up on the entire watchtower, with the exception of these three right here at the bottom that you can walk in and out of. I'm not going to build those up, but all these walls here are going to be built up. So, yeah, and I got my sea chest here to carry up logs. So with that said, give me 1 second. All this talking has made my throat parched. I gotta go get it. I gotta get a drink in real life. I'll be right back. Alright. I got a drink in real life. I am thirsty. Holy cow. Nice, good, cold beverage. So everybody's probably wondering, because I haven't really showed it on the screen. But if you're wondering what server this is, I will show it to you. It's the name of the server. Builder's Dream PvE/PvP. I'm pretty sure the PvP is only in zones. You have to resort to the rules on the Discord that's shown on the screen with it. I'm not going to try to even read all the Discord letters, but you see it. Builder's Dream TM. I'm not even sure if the trademark is legit, but anyway, it doesn't matter. Builder's Dream TM PvE/PvP. Check the rules on the PvP part of it, and don't come on here and kill me, please. Like, don't be that guy. Don't be that guy. I'm not gonna be trying to kill you, so don't try to kill me. You know what I mean? If you want to come on here and be friendly, I can help you out a lot. Okay, I can help you out a lot. I'll even gain you access to the builder, my builder supply, and I can give you some tips on where to find some vehicles, because I know where some vehicles are. I'm just not gonna. I'm not gonna grab any vehicles that other than what I need for myself and our crew. So, the vehicles that I have right now, my ATA, the ATA is the only vehicle that is mine. Okay, I just want to make that perfectly clear. The ATA is the only vehicle that I claim as mine. Okay. The Sarka, the yellow Sarka, is Love Pink's. That is her only vehicle that she claims, and it's only hers. Okay. The truck and the Humvee are for the whole crew. So if you're part of our crew, you know, you'll gain access to those as well. You'll be allowed to use those as well if you're part of our crew. But you're only allowed to use those as a crew. Meaning, like the mission vehicle, we're only allowed to use the mission vehicle if we're all going on a mission somewhere. You know what I mean? We go on various missions to do different things. We might go on a mission to Riffy to see what it's like in the toxic zone there. They got some pretty cool stuff set up over there. I haven't been in Riffy. I haven't been in the fog over there yet, but from what it looks like from the road, they got some pretty cool stuff set up there. But if we go to missions such as like the Northwest Airfield or whatever, or like if we want to go on a mission to, you know, find a member of my team, find a member of my faction a vehicle, you know, we can go on a mission to do that with the Humvee. You know what I mean? If we're going to go get supplies or whatever, we can use the truck all together. You know, not really all together. Only 2 people can fit in the truck, but you know, you go as a team. You know what I mean? You go as a team, and it's less of a risk. You know what I mean? Less of a risk of losing your own vehicle, losing your own gear, using your own stuff, whatever. So, but yeah, if you want to come be part of the crew, look, there's plenty of options around here for a base. In this direct area, you know what I mean. You've got that little shed over there. You get the building behind us. You've got the buildings over here. All these are very easy to make into a base. All of these are very, you know, you can store a car there. You can be very secure about everything. And I'll grant you access to the workshop here. You know. I'm not greedy like that. I'm not gonna be like, no, you can't use my stuff. Look here. There is plenty of stuff to go around. Look at all those camo nets. There's 4 stacks of planks. There's all those logs. There's all that sheet metal. Look, I literally tried to use all those logs. I literally tried to use all those planks in the time of a server reset. 4 hours. That's well over 4 hours worth of building material right there. Like, you can't use all that material at once. So, yeah. And by the time you do use all that material, the server resets like right around the corner. So that being said, let's build some more here. You know what I mean? Let's build this up. We're just standing here in the rain. So yeah, we're working on this. We're gonna build this frame up. We're gonna put the barbed wire. Now the barbed wire, I'm only putting on the bottom part of this part. I just think it would look better. No, not dismantle. This is the problem with having a hatchet to build with. I brought the hatchet up here with me to build, because I had to tear down the stairs. I had wind up putting the stairs on the wrong side, so I had to tear them down. I was like, wait, I put the stairs on the other watchtower, and I was like, no, I don't like the way that looks. I want them to go. I think maybe I want them to go the other way. So I switched the sides, and that's the only reason why I have the hatchet up here. I like building with the hammer better because it takes up less inventory space. And for some reason, I don't know. Maybe call me crazy, but I think it's faster with a hammer too. I don't know. I think I don't know if I'm wrong or if I'm right. I never really officially timed it, but I think that some stuff are faster than others when you're sawing and when you're cutting and when you're hammering. Like, I feel like some things do things faster than others. Like, I think the hammer is slightly faster than the hatchet. I could be wrong. I think that, I can't remember. I think that it's the handsaw. I think the handsaw is faster than the hacksaw. But the chainsaw is the fastest, definitely, by far. And the chainsaw being a modded item, and a lot of people don't know actually works, but you can only cut down, you know, planks with it. You can only cut planks with it from a pile of planks. You can't cut planks from a log. You know what I'm saying? You can only cut them from a pile of planks with a chainsaw. Which is kind of weird, but it's still, the chainsaw works. And if you don't know how to get a chainsaw to work, I'll tell you, it's simple. You take the chainsaw, you put it in your hands, you equip a battery on it, and then you fill it with gasoline. I'm not sure why it takes gasoline and a battery, because any chainsaw that I've ever known either takes a battery, and that's it, or takes gasoline, and that's it. You know what I mean? Not both. And furthermore, the ones that do take gasoline, some of them, I don't know about all of them, but some of them require a spark plug for the spark. I don't know, that's just me. Our chainsaws in this game doesn't require a spark plug, which I think a spark plug instead of a battery would be better. But it's a modded item, so it doesn't really, it's not really in the game. But I think if they actually did put it in the game, they would need to fix it. They would need to fix things a lot. First of all, you would have to be able to use it as a weapon. You know what I mean? You have to be able to chainsaw the zombies. You know what I mean? Like, how awesome would that be to chainsaw zombies? That'd be great. I mean, you can use it as a weapon to club them with, but it's not really going to do any. It's not going to do as much damage as you think it should. You know what I mean? A chainsaw turned on should one hit kill the zombie, basically. And you can't saw down you can't chop down trees with it. You can't chop down planks from logs with it. You can't, you know, use it to cut logs into firewood. You can't do any of that stuff. And I think you should be able to do all of that stuff with a chainsaw. I think you should be able to do all of that stuff with a chainsaw. And also, I think that you should have, a pull, a pull cord for it too. You know, maybe add a mechanic to where you have to like flick the analog stick to pull it. You know what I mean? That'd be pretty cool. I don't know. I think they could make that chainsaw work, and I think they could make it better if they just added the proper animations for it. You know what I mean? Like, he still hacks at the planks like it's a axe, but it's a chainsaw. Like, you can't even get the sawing motion going on for the chainsaw. You gotta do an axe slam. That's kind of weird. But yeah. So, yeah, there's that. But the chainsaw is really cool. The chainsaw cuts down planks. Fucking, like, it cuts down the planks the fastest that you can ever imagine. Cutting down planks from a pile of planks. Now, there is a reason why I'm building this outside first. And it's really protection reasons. The rain is really coming down. I'm not afraid of the rain in this game. Mainly because I'm not afraid of the rain in this game because I have tetracycline, so, you know, it heals you. It cures your ailments. Hey, Tiggies. Hey, Tiggies. Tigger is my kitty cat. Hi, Tiggies. Good morning. Kitty cat's just waking up. Man, Deathly Raven. I wish he would come back on, man. Like, that's my son. Deathly Raven is my biological son. And, I miss playing on DayZ with him. I miss playing on video games with him. Last time he was on, I was so wrapped up in Hogwarts, I didn't want to play anything else but Hogwarts, and I wouldn't say that I'm done with Hogwarts. I'm going to come back on and play it still, but, I mean, I love playing DayZ so much. Like, DayZ is probably my favorite modern game, you know. I wouldn't say favorite game of all time, because that favorite game of all time is a sentimental game. It holds value in my heart that no other game can or will ever provide for me. Like, it's not even really possible because of how sentimental this game means to me. My favorite video game of all time is the original NES version of The Legend of Zelda. The original NES Legend of Zelda, very first Legend of Zelda video game ever created. That is my favorite video game of all time. That, to me, is the GOAT video game. And hey, look. What, 1987? It came out. Here it is, 2025. And I can still pick up that game and play it, like, right now. Like, literally, right now. You know, because I have it on the Game & Watch. But, you know, but I could, you know, I can still play that game to this day. Like, it's to me, it's the hands down, it's the best video game ever created. And if you're wondering why I think it's the best video game ever created, I'll tell you why it's the best video game ever created. Because it was that first real epic game. It was first real open world game where you could go around and do whatever you wanted to do. You could solve missions, you can solve you know, dungeons any which way you really, almost any which way you wanted to. It's just so many hours of just having fun. When in the 1980s, you know, in the early 90s, that was my go-to game. I came home from school and I played Legend of Zelda. You know, I would go have sleepovers at my friends' houses when I was a kid. And we would bust out the Nintendo, and we would play Legend of Zelda all night long. And here's the thing about that game. I was so good at it. I'm still so good at it. I'm still incredibly good at that game. That I would have to let my friends play first. I'd have to say, like, you know, you guys play first. Because we switch up, you know, we trade the controls up. You die, you give the controllers up. You know what I'm saying? And my friends, they would play about 5-10 minutes, and then they would die. They have to give the controller up. So he would give his controller up to his brother, and then he would play for about 10-15 minutes, then he would die, and then he'd give the controller up to me, and I would play the rest of the fucking night. Because I would never die. Or hardly ever die. In the event that I did die, I was like, son of a bitch, here, take it. And then they're dying like 2 minutes later. And then I get the controller back in like 5 minutes. Like, I was that good at that game. I'll tell you how good I am at The Legend of Zelda. And, you know, I've had people call me a liar to my face about this. And I turned around and I popped my game into the system and I proved it to them. Right then and there, in front of their faces, that it is 100% possible. But I beat The Legend of Zelda on the NES without ever getting the sword. You know, the sword, the first item you get in the beginning of the game, when you go into the little cave there, and he says, it's dangerous to go alone, take this. I chose the dangerous side. I went alone. With no sword. It is very possible. Starting off is extremely hard. You have to find a way to get rupees. You have to find a way to get coins. Rupees. You get money. You've got to get the fire. Then when you get the fire, you can try to get the bombs. When you get the bombs, you want to unlock some stuff. You can go around, you can bomb hearts. You get the fire, you can fire some bushes. You can get some hearts. You can get your life up. You get all the hearts and all the stuff that you can muster up in the outworld before you ever even go into the first dungeon. Okay? Then, when you go into the first dungeon, you're not there to complete the dungeon and get the Triforce. You're there to complete the dungeon and get the items that are in the dungeon. So as the first dungeon, the boomerang and the bow. You get those 2 items, you leave. You don't kill the boss, you leave. You go to the dungeon number 2, you get those items, you leave. You go to the dungeon number 3, you get those items, you leave. You get all the items that you can until you get the wand. The wand is the best item in the game, with the exception of the silver arrows, but that's not till the last stage of the game anyway. You ain't getting into the last stage of the game anyway. But you get the wand, okay, and the wand will allow you to, it will help get you the Book of Medora. Once you have the Book of Medora, you can cast the fireballs out of your wand, making your wand more powerful. When you do that, you don't know it, but your wand becomes more powerful once you have the Book of Medora. Not just from the blast of fire that happens when you shoot it out, okay, that's the visual part of it that is more powerful, but the wand itself actually becomes more powerful. Okay, it is now the equivalent of the red sword. You just don't know that. You can go to Ganon and you can defeat Ganon with the wand and the silver arrows. You don't need a sword. Now most people are like, you need the red sword because that's the only thing that you can hit Ganon with. No. You see, the projectiles off of the red sword, they're capable of hitting Ganon. Okay? The projectiles that come off of the wand are not capable of hitting Ganon. That's the common mistake when people think that you can't beat Ganon with the wand, because they think that the stuff that shoots off of it is the only part of the wand that's the weapon. The wand itself is a weapon. And you can hit Ganon with the wand itself, not the things that come off of it, the wand itself, and that will stun Ganon. And then you switch over to the arrows and you shoot him in the face with the silver arrows, and you defeat him. It's not easy because Ganon is invisible and he moves around the whole level, the whole screen, invisible, and you can't see him. You have to get lucky. I haven't beat Ganon enough times with the wand in order to find a pattern. I'm sure there's a pattern. It's Nintendo, for crying out loud. But it's possible to beat the original Zelda without getting the sword. Ever. Is the second quest possible like that? I don't know. I never tried to do the second quest without a sword. But I don't even know if it's possible, because it's different. You'd have to know. You have to be a Zelda head to know about that. But yeah, I am very good at The Legend of Zelda, and I'm not going to sit here and say that I played every Legend of Zelda video game, but I'm very familiar with most of the Legend of Zelda video games. Now, don't get me started on A Link to the Past, the Zelda 2 on regular Nintendo, A Link to the Past. A lot of people hold that as a good game, but I didn't like that game. It broke away from what Zelda was to me. You know what I'm saying? And put it into a closer category of what a Final Fantasy game is to me. You know what I mean? And put it closer to that range than what it is a Zelda range of games. I'm not saying it wasn't turn-based fighting, but it might as well have been, because you walk along the outworld and then you get hit by a monster and you're in this side-scrolling kind of game all of a sudden. You know what I mean? I didn't like that. I didn't like that one. I'm sorry for, I might catch some hate for that, but I didn't like that Zelda. Now when you get to Super Nintendo, and that Zelda game was off the charts. If you went in history and changed history and totally erased, well, first of all, if you totally erased the original Zelda game, you would probably erase like half of the library of video games you have today. Like, seriously, like, without the original Zelda game being in existence, you probably wouldn't have a great majority of video games that you have today. You probably wouldn't. You ask just about any kind of RPG kind of video game designer, and they will probably, 9 out of 10, I'm probably making that statistic up, but 9 out of 10 will probably tell you that Zelda was their inspiration. If not, they're either lying or they make shitty games. What can I say? But if you were to switch things up and say that the original Zelda game never came out and the Super Nintendo one came out first, I might be picking that one for my favorite game of all time. But just the simple fact that the Legend of Zelda, the original Legend of Zelda, captured me and drew my attention into video games. Because sure, I mean, Atari was fun. I had an Atari. I played Atari growing up. Atari was fun, but it was nothing. It was nothing to like be overexcited about. I liked playing the fishing game. It was amusing. You know what I mean? I played a little bit of the fishing game. It was I'm sick. See what happens when you stand here in the cold? We got Tetra here, so we're okay. Just pop me one of these. We have fire barrels now. I should probably go make a fire. I just want to build this thing up so much, though, man. Like I just keep getting distracted. I'm over here distracted and just standing here talking about Zelda. Distracting myself. But yeah, you know, I've played the other games of Zelda. You know, Super Nintendo games. You know, the Nintendo 64 Zelda. You know, Zelda 64, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask. I've played those and beat those. Fun games. And look, the ice level is not as hard as everybody makes it out to be. Everybody makes it out to be this impossible level. Like, I don't even really remember it being that challenging. Come on, guys. It's a Zelda game. Get your life in order. You know what I mean? Like, I was so good at those games. Like, I'd never remember that level being hard. You know? The only couple of things I remember from 64 Ocarina of Time that I remember being hard in that game. Okay, only two things: the Lon Lon Ranch horse races and the race where you're racing that guy on foot across Hyrule. Those are the only two that I ever remember being hard in that game. So take with it, like as you will. Breath of the Wild. Oh my God, it's an amazing game. I had so much fun in the Breath of the Wild. I caught myself in a little bit of a binge on that. You know what I mean? I binged on that for hardcore for a while, and I could probably still go back and play that. I have a Switch, and I can probably go back and I can play that game right now and still have fun. You know, just as I did when the first time I played it. But then you're getting to Tears of the Kingdom, and unfortunately I have not yet had the honor of playing that game. And before you yell at me about going out and playing this game, just know that I really do want to play this game. I just haven't gotten around to buying it mainly because I don't have a good controller on my Switch. If anybody has a Switch, you know what happens to a controller, especially a Joy-Con controller, after playing Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. You know what happens to those controllers after playing that game. I didn't think it would happen to me. And it's one of those kinds of stories, bro. It's like, I didn't think it would happen to me kind of story. But it happened to me. I played heavily Breath of the Wild, and my Joy-Cons pay for it. They got the analog control stick drift going on, and there's nothing you can do about it after that. And I have multiple sets. I've got the black set, I've got the blue-green set, I've got the pink set from my girlfriend who likes pink, so I got the pink set of controllers, and I got the blue-green set of controllers. I think the blue-green set of controllers is the ones that come with, or those are the aftermarket ones. I think the blue. Oh no, it's green-red, isn't it? Green-red comes with it. But I also have a cyan blue color controllers, and I got pink controllers, and I got black controllers. All Joy-Con controllers. And every one of them has a stick drift. Even the pink ones. Huh. So, Nintendo, get your crap together. Those Joy-Cons are trash. Trash. Now, I went through plenty of PlayStation controllers. I'm using a white PlayStation controller now. I have a backup controller that's the black PlayStation controller. That I had. That's my new. Actually, the black one's my newest one, actually. And then I have the white controller, which is my old one. And I got the black one because I felt like I needed a backup controller because I'm always playing on my PlayStation. I'm always playing some kind of video game. I'm a big gamer, okay? I don't play just DayZ. I mostly play DayZ because it's my favorite game now. That's currently out. But yeah, I play other games and stuff, and you know, gamers, bro. We have our moments. If you're a gamer, if you're a hardcore gamer, you know you've had your moments, bro. Well, your moments where you're frustrated, moments when you take your frustrations out on your controllers. R.I.P. to the controllers that got the rage taken out on them. It's not your fault, controllers. We're sorry. It's not your... Maybe sometimes it is their fault. And those ones, we're not sorry about. But the ones that it's not your fault, we're sorry, controllers. I have a few controllers that are broken. And it's not their fault. And I have a few controllers that are broken that are absolutely their fault. Nintendo. But anyway, like I have a gold controller that just decided to not work one day randomly. I have another gold controller that has been modified. It's gold and it's black, so the bottom part of it's black and the top part of it's gold. And yeah, that one's a result of rage, which don't remember the game, but I'm pretty sure I lost, and I'm pretty sure that it was bullshit. So you know, and you know, I felt like, you know, punching the little pad there on the PlayStation controller wouldn't be that big of a deal. And it's not like I punched it that hard. I punched it, but I didn't punch it like I didn't. Maybe it was like 7% of my power, a little more than 5% of my power, maybe. Like, you know what I mean? It's a little love tap, you know. And the controller is kaput. So yeah, don't punch the pad on your controller. Don't do that. Cause that, you know, take it from me, that will break your controller. But yeah, I've been through some controllers, you know, and yeah, I think one time, oh no, that I had a joystick drift. You know, when your stick drifts like this is me doing it, but you know, when your controller will do this like automatically without you touching the controller, that's me doing it. But like, you know what I mean, that's the analog stick drift. Well, you know, smacking it doesn't help, so you know, just take note on that. Smacking it doesn't help. And that's what ruined another one of my... I have two blue control... No, I have one blue controller that is broken, that doesn't work because of that reason. And then my girlfriend, she's got her two controllers. She's got two... she's got a black controller and a blue controller, I think. Yeah, because I bought her a blue controller for Christmas, and she needed a new controller. Because, well, we thought it was the charging port that wasn't charging her controller right, but here it turns out the charging port on the controller is fine. It's the cord that's messed up, and you have to sit it a certain way to charge it. But you know, PlayStation controllers be doing that. Like PlayStation 4 controllers just have that old mini USB port to plug it in to charge it, and those things don't cut it, man. Like, I don't know if a C port would be better or worse. I don't know, but if you have a PS5, I guess you know if them C cords are better or worse. I don't have a PS5. I'm not financially blessed like that. Maybe eventually one day I'll get a PS5. But you know, I have too much stuff going on my PS4. I have too much invested in my PS4. You know what I mean? To just not have my PS4 anymore. You know, like, even if I got a PS5, I feel like I'd still be on my PS4. And I also feel like maybe if you get a new system, that maybe you should, you know, start all over anyway, you know? I don't know. Sure, like, I can upload all my GTA stuff, my GTA character up from PS4 to PS5, and I can still have all my stuff that I have. But, like, I don't know. You can't go back, you know, for one, and then you can only play with people that have PS5 at that point, you know. I mean, I could play DayZ on there still, so, you know, but why not? Why would I do that just to play DayZ if I can play DayZ on PS4? And then even if I got a PS5, I'm probably still gonna want to play DayZ on my PS4 too at the same time. Cause, you know, I be doing that sometimes, you know. That's what our dead guy is. Our dead guy, when you see dead guy up here on our crew, that's like our, either, you know, somebody is over here playing as a guest, as dead guy, or it's me just using dead guy to be my chauffeur me around. He'll drive me around, basically, and drive around, he'll sit in the car, so nobody steals my car, or I don't get, if he gets killed, then, you know, I'll know to run back to the car or whatever. But, you know, I've played on my share of official servers. I've played on my share of anything goes PvP kind of servers. And I can do all that stuff. I can survive on all those servers. I can build me a base on those servers and keep myself well hidden on those servers for a good period of time. But let me tell you something. On those kinds of servers, eventually you will be found. And listen, the server's there and it's owned by somebody. Okay? The servers that you play on, that you join, they're owned by somebody. Like this server, for example, is owned by somebody. I don't know if it's Demon Boy that owns the server, or if he's just admin on the server. But even more so, you've got admins on those servers as well, and you get the owner of the servers. And these guys, I'm not saying that Demon Boy does this, because he hasn't done any of this. He's showed no sign that he does this to people on my server. And basically, this is where the new era comes in. The old era of Phantoms of the Pine is, this new era is going to be different on playing DayZ and streaming forward from here on out with me. I'm gonna continue to come on here on Builder's Dream and just have fun and build and have fun. But also there's going to be times when I'm going to go around, and we're going to go around together on live streams. And we're basically going to have multiple bases on multiple different servers. Like, well, multiple different servers have bases going. Okay, and we're going to keep track of them. Hopefully, like I like to say hopefully whenever I'm playing DayZ. Hopefully we're going to keep track of them. And we're going to use our own opinion. So you use your own opinion, and I'll use my own opinion on whether or not you think it's a good server or not. Now we'll start off with the easy servers. We'll start off with PvP servers, and we'll explain what we're looking for, you know. But I can tell you the one thing that we're looking for on every single server that we go to is admin/owner abuse. Those are servers that, when we discover the admin slash server owner abuse that we don't like, we'll leave that server and we'll never go back to it, and we'll never even bother with that server ever again, and we'll make sure to put on blast on YouTube that might not be a server that you want to join. And there's been absolutely zero, I'm not talking about Demon Boy, there's been zero signs of any kind of server abuse on this server, but I'm talking about these other servers. Before I found this server, before I found Phantoms of the Pines servers, before any of that, I've been on many different servers, many different types, ranging from PvP to role-playing to PvE to none of them to all of them, official servers, from United States official servers to overseas official servers, you know what I mean, Europe servers, all of the above. I've been through them all, okay? Not all the servers, because that's like, there's always new servers coming out, and there's hundreds of thousands of servers, but I've been through all the different types of servers, you feel me? I've been through the different types of servers, and you know, what I would like to do is maybe present a series of live streams that would, you know, will go on these servers, you know, and I'm not really messing with official, because official servers are going to be the way they are no matter what. There's no changing that, and I don't want to change that. I want the official servers to be official. I want them to be how the devs wanted to be of the game. That's the way that it's meant to be. That's the way it's meant to be. But I'm talking about these modded servers, these PvE servers, these PvP servers, you know, and I'm talking about, we'll go on these servers, we'll put a base down, because it's only really worth it if you can put a base down. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about these deathmatch servers. We're not going to bother with deathmatch servers, because there's nothing really to review there. There's not really going to be too much server abuse going on there, you know, other than them knowing where everything is as a server owner. You know, that it's not even really worth like rating those or even wasting time on deathmatch servers. But like a PvE server or a PvP server where we can go and we can build our own base, okay, and just see how long we can have a simple base. You know, a simple base, not like an extravagant base like this, but a simple base, like maybe like one of these sheds here, locked up with a car inside and maybe a tent and some items. You know what I mean? And put a flag up to signify that it's your base. You know what I mean? These are all things that I look for when I go on a server. Can I do that? Do I have the capabilities of doing that? How hard is it to do that? You know, that's what I'm going to be looking for when I go onto these servers. Usually, what it used to be back in the day was when you still had to pay for Livonia. This is how far back this was. When you still had to pay for Livonia, and I only had Chinaris. I never bought Livonia. Okay, I bought Skahal, but I never bought Livonia. Okay, I'm just playing on there now because it's free. And I learned the map pretty well. But back before that, I would have a mission. I would come onto a random server, right, that I didn't know about. I wasn't on before. A fresh spawn in. And I would see how difficult it was to get from wherever I spawned in at to Black Lake. I don't know why. Black Lake is beautiful to me. It was always my favorite spot. Kudos to the person who's got Black Lake on this server. Somebody has a base built there already on this server. Don't know who it is. But it's awesome, and I'm jealous, but that's why I'm not here on this server. But it got far too easy to get to Black Lake as you learn the game. Like, I'm talking back in days like when the you know, community servers first came out, you know, when the community servers first came out, and I was trying to find my own community server to call home, you know, for the time being. I would see how long it took me to get to Black Lake with those characters. and or how difficult it was. And judging by that, I would see, and the items that I have on me by the time I get there, I would see if the server was worth spending more time on. And then I would either build at Black Lake if I felt like building there, or I would build somewhere else. I would go somewhere else and build somewhere else. But my initial thing is always, I don't know why, it's still, even still to this day, I still kind of do it. My initial thing is, let's go to Black Lake. Let's get to Black Lake. It's just, I don't know why. I like Black Lake. To me, it holds a special place in my heart. I don't know who the gravestone is that's located there. I don't know who's responsible for that gravestone there. But I have my own little sentimental reasons. We won't get into that. I have my own little sentimental reasons for liking that little gravestone there, but we won't get into that. What I'm saying is, like, I want to start a whole series of videos, and we're gonna come back, and we're gonna have fun on here. We can still even live stream on here too, and this is gonna be a server that I'm gonna probably mostly be playing on, as long as I'm allowed to. As long as I'm welcome to, I should say. But we're gonna go to other servers, and we're gonna live stream on these other servers in the following weeks, and we might spend the entire stream now on the server. We might spend the entire stream on a server. We might jump around to different servers, okay, and see. Dang, look at that, we put all that up already. Boom, look at that, looks dope. Alright, that's the first stage of this. Actually, it's like 100 stage now. Well, let's count the stages. Let's finish. Hold on, I'm getting off track. I'm getting off subject here. Let's finish what we were talking about first. What we're gonna do is gonna jump around to different servers. We're gonna see what it's like on that server. Just see what it's like on that server to be on that server. If I have to join the Discord, I'll join the Discord. But don't expect me to be messaging on the Discord or anything like that. Like, I'm gonna have minimal Discord participation. You know what I'm saying? While I'm on that server, just because I'm not even a fan of Discord. Like, I don't really care for it. It's hard for me to navigate it. I don't know all the commands. Like, I'm not fluent with it. It's not a big thing to me. I don't really care for the Discord too much, but I just do it to make the other people happy. You know what I mean? That's the only real reason why I do the Discord. And I'm going to be 100% honest with you, because I am always 100% honest. And it looks like I'm having some kind of connection issue. I hope that's not messing with my stream. Hopefully that connection issue didn't mess with my stream. I don't know. But, yeah, this is the server that we're on. We got a buddy on here. I've never seen that name on here before, but hey, we got a buddy on here. So, yeah, basically, oh, and I just wanted to let all, my viewers know that, you're always welcome to, DM me on PlayStation. My DMs on PlayStation is open for anyone that wants to message me. I welcome any kind of DM message that you want to send me. I will answer them as soon as I can. But, if you're rude, I'll have to block you if you're rude. You know what I mean? I don't like to block people, but, just don't be rude. But, what I hope to do is, basically help those that would want to play and finding a good server, find a good server that might fit them, you know. Uh, and I'll go onto a server, I'll build a base, you know, we'll keep a base, we'll try to interact with some of the locals if we can, and we'll see what happens. We won't be butthurt too much if we get shot down and get killed and taken for all our stuff, or we won't get butthurt too much if our base gets raided in and broken into or whatever. You know what I mean? It'll be what it is. You know what I mean? It'll be the point of it, really. The point of the experiment would be to see if people would break in, you know, to one of our bases on these other servers, you know, and things like that. So, but man, I damaged up all my hammers. Broke my hammers and stuff. Okay, now we gotta put this barbed wire on. This is the next stage of it. Did I not have my I don't have my pliers? I have pliers? Where'd my pliers go? What? I lost my pliers. Maybe I left them in that crate down there. But no, yeah, so, you know, but we will come back to this server too, and we'll check things out. We'll have some more fun on this server too. And I like teaching people how to build things. Because I like to be known as the architect in DayZ, in my crew. Like I said before, like, we don't really claim to have leaders. If there was a leader, it would probably be me, but I really like to claim myself as the architect, you know. We have other people that are, you know, specialized in their own things, you know. Like, Love Ping tends to be a good gatherer, you know, when we need someone to go and get, you know, supplies like logs and woods and planks and things like that. Building fires and things like that. She's really good at doing that. She can get that stuff like really lickety split. I mean, anybody could really do that kind of stuff, but like, she does it exceptionally well. She takes pride in it, and you know, I enjoy that. You know, yeah, my buddy Vedrex, he specializes in just murdering. You know, I mean, he's a good PvP player, and he will probably gun down the best of them, give him the opportunity. You know, as well as my son, he's like a walking armory. So, and he can utilize all those weapons too. But you know, if he goes down, he's usually not happy about it because he uses all his guns and stuff. But you know, he has his own. He's young. He's a young gunner. You know what I mean? He's a young gunner. Still got a lot to learn on it situation. You know. White Fire Dragon, he's good at like, you know, getting the food and cooking up all the food and all that good stuff, like doing hunting animals, and you know, getting some good animals and pelts and things like that. He's good at collecting the pelts. So if you're running a server, or somebody's running a server that uses pelts for currency, you know, he's good at that. And he's good at the farming, you know, the farming of fruits and vegetables, as well as the, you know, the ganja, the green stuff, and I'm good at that too. Like I can do good gardening too. Like I know all the tips for the gardening. And here we are, last one to mount up. And we are done mounting all the barbed wire. Because we're not going to put barbed wire on the inside. There's no it's not necessary. It's already inside of our base. So then we'll go down. We'll get some logs. We'll put logs here, and we'll go down and get more logs, and we'll put logs here, and we'll build this level up. And we're going to continue doing that. So I got to make sure I go down again and get some watchtower kits. Probably grab a couple of those. And we're going to continue going all the way up until it runs into that. And when it runs into that, that'll be our last watchtower set that we build. And we'll probably wind up putting a roof on this one. I don't know if we'll fit a roof onto this one. I don't know. We'll see when we get there. We cross that bridge when we get it to it. And we can just leave the nails and the planks right where they are, because I'll just drop that right there too, because they're not going to go anywhere. And I'll still use those planks for when I build that, and give me some good starter planks to work with. I'll collect them after I throw the logs into place. See, now you see why I built that there. And see, like, we're not going like tent crazy or whatever here. I can see sometimes it could make things lag. I'm not really 100% sure on if the tents actually do make it lag more or not. I don't really think that's a problem with it, but some people believe that that's a problem with the lag. It could be. What do I know? You know, I think that having a bunch of cars in an area, I think that creates a lag. That's why I don't keep all our vehicles in one area. Like I got the mission truck over there. I've got my Ada over there, and then Heather Love Pink has got her car here, and then we got our truck here because this is the only door that it's going to fit in. Of course, I could make double gates for the other ones, but I don't really like making double gates. I do it because it's the only way that you can get a truck in and out, but I don't like to do a double gate because it's just a pain in the ass to open every single time. And this gate, you don't need a double gate because you can put the barbed wire there, and you can't squeeze through there anyway. And even if you try, you're gonna get barbed. You know what I mean? Like a player can't squeeze through there. Even if you pull a truck up right up next to it and try to crawl through it, you can't get through there. You know what I mean? You can't. I've tried. So that's the beauty part about these kind of buildings. You know what I mean? You can't do that, and you can pull a truck in here, and you have a lot of room. And all you got to do is board this up, and you have like a perfectly safe. You can't break into under normal circumstances. You know, on a PvE server kind of room. You know what I'm saying? And why these make good bases. And then if you take over the top like I did, you have a lot more room. You have like double the room, you know. I just think those things right there are really good base makers. Could you imagine, like, if you could put your own if I could put my own buildings in, or whatever, I put one of these buildings in, and then turn the other one around and put it right next to it, right next to this one, to where the door opens up, where that door opens up into the other door, going into the other one, facing the other way. I think that would be so dope. And then you would just lock off both of them, both sides. You can have 2 in 1 bases. And you can use the rooftops. Man, that'd be sick. That would be pretty dope. Where am I going? Going the wrong way. I'm supposed to be going up the ladder with these logs. So that's like the hardest part about building all of this, is carrying all these logs up and down these ladders. And hopefully, you know, we can get this done by today. Build that thing all the way up to there. Then maybe do some construction elsewhere. I'm looking for an easier way to get up to where that tent is there. Without having to leave the comfort of the base, really. You mean you don't leave the comfort of the base? You can get to that part without leaving the comfort of the base. Well, without leaving the base, but it's not comfortable. You know what I'm saying? It's not comfortable. So I want to do it like one thing at a time, so that I don't put it on the wrong ones. Well, I think that I'll be okay. I think I can decipher between the two. So what we're gonna need to do is we're gonna need a shovel, right? I think I need to bring up some extra stuff here. I think I need to bring up a wooden crate that I can put up here, because I need to bring a shovel and some watchtower kits. A couple of watchtower kits and a shovel, and then I can just gradually, as I'm bringing up logs every time, just bring up some bring up some hammers and maybe some logs. I mean planks. Bring up some planks. Oh, the other guy left. He left us. I never seen that guy before. Hey, you know what? And you look at that with the DayZ up there. That looks pretty cool. It looks like it fits in the corner up there, like that. That's pretty cool. So I just like when things fit together nicely. But yeah, you know, man, like DayZ has been my favorite game since I started playing it. It's been one of my new favorite games since I started playing it. And for me to say that is kind of a big deal. My favorite game to constantly play before that was I don't even know. Oblivion? Maybe? Ark, maybe? You know? Like, okay, I was a big Elder Scrolls fan since Morrowind. Played Morrowind. I used to have a PC that had Morrowind on it, and I'd play Morrowind. And I had a construction set that came with the game on PC, and you can mod the game how you wanted to, but you had to figure it all out how to do it by yourself. If there was any kind of instructions on that, I didn't know about it, because I figured out how to do everything in the construction set by myself without any kind of help from. I didn't look anything up online. I didn't look anything up on the internet. I figured it out myself just by fiddling and twiddling with the tools that were on the construction set of the disc. If you ever played Morrowind on PC and had the construction set, then you know what I'm talking about. And probably you had help where I didn't. And I created my own islands. I created my own factions. I had my own missions, but I never could figure out how to get the missions to trigger. That was the only thing I couldn't figure out. But I had all kinds of things going on in Morrowind. I was heavily invested in that Elder Scrolls Morrowind. Heavily invested into that when Oblivion came out. I got Oblivion, I wouldn't say the day it came out, but like at least the week it came out of Oblivion. And I played that game all the way up until Skyrim's released. Like, I literally played that game all the time. All the way until Skyrim was released. And then I played Skyrim. And then I went back to playing Oblivion. I swear to God, I went back to playing Oblivion after Skyrim. I liked Oblivion better. I liked Oblivion's storyline better than Skyrim. I liked Oblivion's mechanics. My characters that I could create in Oblivion's were literal gods. Like, you are a god in that game. Like, you become a god in that game by exploits and things like that. I got tricks that I can teach you in Oblivion that I discovered myself, and they might be online. You might be able to find out how to do it online, but somewhere. But when I tell you this, you might not believe me. But there's a glitch in Oblivion that I discovered all on my own, without the help of any kind of looking up anything online. Okay? For one, it was common knowledge on how to do the scroll duplicating glitch. Everybody knows how to do the scroll duplicating glitch. That is not what I discovered. What I discovered was, now I can't really remember. I'd have to put the game on and play it and do it again to remember the exact steps. But you duplicate an item while you're wearing it, and the game, it unequips it from you, but the game thinks it's still equipped on you, so you permanently get the effect of the item that you're wearing without wearing it, allowing you to put on another item in that same slot. And basically, I had the power to make your character reflect, I think it was, I think the most that I got, it was 120 something, 122%. Reflect 122% damage back at the opponent. That means that if my opponent, my enemy, hits me with 100 damage, it does no damage to me and does 125 damage to them. Or 120 damage to them, how much it was. I think it was 125, actually. I think it was 125 is the most I got. What was 128? See, I can't remember. I can't remember off the top of my head. It's been so long since I played Oblivion, but damn, if you know, you know. If you know how to do that trick, let me tell you something. I knew how to do that trick before the internet knew how to do that trick. Okay? Because it was not online. When I figured out how to do it, I went online and I looked for it. And I said, let me see if I can find this anywhere online on how to do this. And nobody had it online. And I didn't put it online, and I'll tell you why I never put it online first. Because of the paintbrush glitch. If you know about the paintbrush glitch, okay, they patched it, and you couldn't do it anymore. You drop a paintbrush from your inventory, and it stays in the air, and you can jump on that said paintbrush, and you can do it again with another one, and jump on that one, and do it again, and you can basically get over anything that you want using the paintbrushes. Well, that word got out about that, and they took it away. So my thinking was, I'm not telling anybody I discovered this glitch, because they'll take it away. and it never got taken away. And it's still in the game today, and you can still do it to this day. In Oblivion, you can do that glitch. Because for some reason they never took the duplicating with the scrolls glitch away either. I don't know why. They never took that. Take that glitch away and it messes everything up. You can't do it. So basically your character's 100% plus reflect damage. Then you can also add in resist magic to 100% or more. You don't need anything past 100%, but you resist 100%, you can't be damaged. Resist disease, there you go. Water breathing, you got it. Water walking, you got it. You want all the health, you got it. You want all the mana, you got it. All you got to do is create an item with plus 50 to health or whatever it is to magic. I think it was like 30 to magic. It's the most that you can do. But you can just create an item with that on it. Do the duplication glitch with it on you, and you have it permanently on you. And you just rinse and repeat with another item until you have all the mana you want, all the health you want. You won't need the health because nothing can hit you. The only thing that can hit you at this point in all this that I'm describing, the only thing that can hurt you are arrows from an enemy, and that's going to do very minimal. If you know Skyrim, if you know Oblivion, then you know that's going to do very little damage to you, especially if you have a lot of health built up, you know, put on there as well. I need to make a crate. So, like, you know, arrows ain't doing much, and if you were really worried about the arrows doing anything to you, there's resist normal weapons. You put your resist normal weapons to at 100%, and now the arrows are doing 0 damage to you. So nothing is touching you. Only word of advice, there's a DayZ mission where the guy has to beat you up till you're on the verge of death before the DayZ god brings you back to life. Okay. Do that mission before you do the reflect damage thing back, because if you do that, you'll fail the mission and you'll never be able to do the mission. That's the only thing about that. If you want a challenge in Oblivion, go to passive route. Go to passive route. Try not to kill anything in the game. See how far you can get without killing anything in the game. Not one thing. It can be done. It can be done. Actually, it can't be done. You actually have to kill one thing in the entire game. There's only one thing that you have to kill in the entire game, and it's Mancar Cameron. Spoiler alert, sorry. But you have to be the one dealing the death blow to him. There's no other way, shape about it. You know what I mean? You can't bring a companion in with you, and if you summon a creature and the creature kills it, it still counts as you killing it. You know what I mean? So you have to kill one thing in that game. Everything else in that game you don't have to kill. You can beat the game without killing anything except for Mancar Cameron. That's it. And even then, you know, I would still summon something in. I would just summon something in, and that would kill Mancar Cameron, and I'd still be like, hey, I'm clean hands of it. I just summoned something in, and that thing killed Mancar Cameron, not me. And that thing is now dead. You know what I mean? So like, hey, I didn't do it. It was a thing I summoned. You know. So, but yeah, try playing that game without killing anything. You know, it can be mostly done except for Mancar Cameron, and it's mainly that, you know, you get yourself a companion. You know what I mean? You get yourself a companion, and you take him with him, one that can't die. You take him with you for the rest of the game, and you use paralyzed spells, so you paralyze things, and you let him do all the killing. Simple as that. You can do it in Skyrim too. I think you can get further in Skyrim than you can in Oblivion. I think you can actually beat Can you actually beat Can you beat Skyrim without killing anybody? I don't know. I never really tried it in Skyrim, really, to tell you the truth. I might have tried it for like a little while, but I don't think I got very far. But it seemed like it was easier not to kill anything in Skyrim. You know. I don't know. But I liked Oblivion better than Skyrim, you know, and I was playing a lot of those games, and GTA, of course, when GTA 5 came out, I was big on that, you know, and we were making a crate. I was big on GTA, so I think everybody was big on GTA 5. In fact, I still play GTA 5. It's one of my go back to games. Like DayZ is one of my games I will always go back and play more of, and GTA is one of those games. You know, so oh, shoot, I don't want this. I don't want that. Be gone. Put this in here. And put this in here. Yes. Now, give me this. Oh, wait a minute. We do need something else, though, first. Hold on. We need another shovel. See how laggy it is, though? It's pretty laggy. There's a way around it, and you can just do this. Let's see if we can fit a shovel in here. Yeah, okay. And we can fit a thing of nails too. Why not just bring some nails with us just to fill it up? So, yeah, we'll bring that with us. Pack that up. Still got 14 spaces. You know what? A shovel takes up a lot of space, but these don't take up a lot of space, and you can do the same thing with a farming hoe. So bam, let me grab one of those too, because that log's coming out of there, so we can just put the farming hoe back in there. I don't need the barbed wire anymore, so I can get rid of this. Don't worry, I'm going to pick up the barbed wire. I'm going to put it in a proper place later on, probably, if it's still there. And it might just despawn. I don't know. But I either use this stuff that I leave right around here I either use this stuff immediately, or it'll just despawn anyway. So yeah, let's take a couple of hammers. Also, pro tip: if you're lagging around, put your fists up, raise your fists, and it should help with the lag. In like 90% of the cases. Yeah, we'll take like 3 more hammers, right? Maybe 4. Okay. Yeah, we're also going to be dabbling in this eventually. I'm going to be making a garden soon, and we're going to be growing some guns. We're going to be growing the guns. We got fertilizer here. I'm going to make a little garden area. I was thinking maybe I'm making a little garden area over here, so that you wouldn't have to, you know, go through the garden. You gotta go through the garden to get there, to the ladder, when all this is done. That'd be pretty cool. I can make like this, like the entrance to the garden here. You can't walk through here, so I can just like put all my little crates, line up my little crates right there, make this the walkway. I can put myself like a, you know, little fence line going around here. I think that'd be pretty cool, making this little garden. I put the fence line facing the other way though, making this like the inside of the fence and making this the outside of the fence. I learned my lesson on that. I learned my lesson on that you know, guard away the gardens work. You know, you can have the garden up to the outside of the fence, but you don't want to put like for example, I get the garden hoe. I'll show you. You don't want to put your garden like this, up against the back of a fence. Okay? Because the ones in the front, they won't grow properly. And in some cases, you can't put the seeds in it. So, if you put a fence, so if we're going to put our garden here, right? If we're going to put our garden right here, maybe line it up across all the way this way, then yeah, we want our fence. That's the way I want to do it, because that looks good too. Look at this. Maybe we'll work on the garden next after we build this tower. You know what I mean? I can do like this, and then like this, and kind of make a path. Do like this, then like this. Make a little pathway. Make a little pathway. That's something that we can think about. Make our little garden here, and this thing right, this part right here can be the entrance, and I can just do like a little gate, you know, right here, with just a frame, you know, to make it look just a frame, the mark of it, and I'll do the fence with like just a half fence on the bottom, so you would have to walk around here just to get up to here. Oh, we forgot our chest. You know what? I could make another one, couldn't I? No, I wouldn't be able to fit in there, because you have to fit. Yeah, I wouldn't fit in there. I'd only be able to carry one with me. Okay. I wish you could throw these seed chests. Fucking throw them bitches. I'd throw it right off the top of there every time, but... Well, not now that I built the fence there. You can get a good look at what it looks like. And oh, we're gonna put the camo nets on there too. So we're gonna do that later. We'll put the camo nets on there. Oh shoot, and I think that would look pretty cool. What do you think, babe? Look. Got that part done. Now I'm starting on the watchtowers. And then after that, I think we'll do the garden. After we do the watchtower, we'll start on the garden. I've been wanting to do a garden, I just hadn't really 100% figured out where I wanted to do it. I was going to do the garden inside, but the garden plot anywhere is not on, which is okay. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that, because people abuse that ability, and they make it so that they can break into people's bases with, which is not cool. Not cool at all. And but the whole thing about it is, the whole disappointing part about it is, I like to use it for building purposes, you know. For like making bridges and things like that, building bridges and stuff like that. It makes things easier. I can build bridges the hard way, like we've done in the past, but it's complex. Did I already put 4 and 4 on here? Oh my goodness, I didn't even realize I put 4 and 4 on there. Okay, well hold on. That's okay, because we can just do this. We got our chest here. Where are we gonna put this bad boy? Huh? Put it up here? Can we put it up here? Yeah, but you can't see it. See, it's dumb. Is it the same with this too? Like, if I did it like that? No, you can see it. So if I did this, and I can see it. No. Give me this one that's damaged up. I'm gonna make these the damaged ones first. That's crazy. I went down and grabbed more logs before I even realized it. I just got so used to bringing up so many logs, because you see how I built up this already? Like, I've been walking up and down here with all these logs for a minute. Okay, if you don't know how to stack watchtowers and stack them up to get them up high, I'm going to show you how to do it. It takes a lot of resources, logs. It takes a bunch of different things to use. I forgot the watchtower kits that I was supposed to bring up with me. That's okay. We'll build this level up, and then we'll go get them. So let's drop this. Let's go pick up all these planks. You know what? Let's pick up the nails too while we're at it. Once I got 10, I'll put those 10 on where I need to put them. With some nails. Nope. Should have put it there first. I got 10 here. So let's put it on this first one. On this first one, and by the first one, I mean this one. This one here is the first one, because this is the one we build the stairs on. So that's the first one. Yeah, because I had the stairs facing, I had the stairs going up this way, and because it's on an incline the other way, I kind of didn't look right, so I was like, I wanted to go opposite the incline, and it wouldn't look right, and this looks a lot better. It feels a lot better going up it too. So yeah. Alright. So now we'll get 6 more planks. And we'll put them there. And I forgot to put the nails there. Okay. There's that alien spaceship in the sky over there too. I don't know if you can all see it. Those are cool. And then we'll get another 10. Oh, wait a minute. We have 10 planks. I was just in zombie mode. Put this on the flooring of this level. Oh, wait a minute, come back up here. And we also are going to need the nails. Here we go. Thought I saw somebody down there, kind of freaked me out. Might have been a zombie. Zombie. I'm sorry, infected. We're not. They're not zombies per se. Both sides of these walls are going to be built up, and then on the front, the other one's going to be built up. So yeah, this 10 plank we can put. Actually, when we build it from here, we'll build this one first. So we'll put this here. But let's grab this, and we'll build the next floor. We're gonna have to go down and get some more planks, as well as some watchtower kits. So yeah, we'll go down. We'll get as many planks as we can. First of all, this is where the floor is going to be, and the stairs. So it should take all 16 here. And I can put those other logs on there, up there as well. Yeah. No, actually, those right there, I might need them. Keep those right there, and then we have the 10 right here to build that wall. So we also got a bunch of nails right here, and 2 planks right there. trade you for that. And give me one of these. I'll come down and we'll get as much planks as we can bring up. And we need some watchtower kits. I might have one or two around here. So, let's put this in here, and put these in here. And put these in here. And maybe we can bring in another chest up. Did I do something? I left them on the ground. Yeah, just leave them on the ground. Right? They'll be fine there. Another thing I'll say that I like about this server is that it's a way that I would probably set it up myself on my server, and I would probably ask this guy how he did it. But I like the fact that, like, it's getting dark, right? See how it's getting dark out now, and the sun's going down. Well, that's like something telling you that, listen here, server's about to restart soon. That's like your warning on this server, and it's been working out this way the entire time I've been playing on this server. It's like once it starts getting dark like that, you know the server's about to reset. And when the server resets, it's daytime. So it's basically like, know where you're at when the server's about to reset, and take that as like being, you know, your character going to sleep and waking up the next day. We need planks. I have 2 planks up there, so even that 7 can come up with me. We need to cut up more planks. We need watchtower kits. I do have kits somewhere around here. Where do I have them at? Yeah, there's one. And a bunch of these. I'll take one of these. Throw this down. Over here. There we go. Got this on the ground. He can't get me. So I'll show you how you use a chainsaw here. Okay, you got your 9-volt battery. Boom. You got your gas. Refuel. Then, as you can see, it does not work for the wooden logs. Okay. It doesn't even work for cutting down a tree. Right? It doesn't work for bushes. They're not inside there, are they? It can't be. Only thing it works for is cutting planks. They can't jump double fences, so they can't get us in here. Pretty sure they can't get us in here. And it adds a wacky animation. And as far as I know, it doesn't make any sound. And you can just sit here and hack away. And it leaves 27 planks in a stack of in a full stack of planks. It'll leave 27 planks left over. And basically, you just use the chainsaw until it's broken, until it's ruined, and it'll disappear quickly, pretty much, when it's destroyed. That thing's still getting destroyed. That thing's destroyed. All right. Oh, and by the way, when I came on, everything was locked up, so we were good. I guess I did lock it up when you came in. And a good thing I did, because the server reset last night, and we were waiting for it to come back, and it didn't come back. I don't know if it was a issue with the server or something. I'm not sure. I don't know the whole thing about it.
I did see something on that. There was something to do with Nitrado was down for a bit.
Oh, Nitrado was down?
They were doing some kind of maintenance or something like
Figures. Do they give time owed for that? No, probably not.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so usually once it's ruined, what I do, I'll just drop the chainsaw right here. It'll go away. And it's ruined, so it'll go away in no time. But I take the battery, and I put the battery right here. So I continue to use that battery and that jerry can. It doesn't use hardly anything from the battery. And it takes a little tiny bit of fuel from the jerry can. That's the second time of me using that jerry can with a chainsaw. And you see how very little it's taken from it. So I'm debating. Nah, I think we're good. I think just take this up, and we'll gather up more planks. See now, like only 4 spaces left. I don't really have any room left, do I? Nope. Nope, we'll just carrying planks up, I guess, at this point. Let me see, do we have any, like... 5 right there. Okay, we'll do this. There we go. And there's 2 there. So, yeah, no. Actually, if I drop this, give me this. Just here. Put this here. And put this here. I can put this here. 424, 24, 12 here. And I can fit another hammer. Right? I can bring up another hammer. And some nails. Bring up the rest of the spaces and nails. Yeah, we're good. Actually, we'll grab some more nails. Maybe we can bring nails in here. So we'll grab some more nails. We're gonna make a trip up and down. We might as well grab what we can. Right? We're gonna need it. And a couple more boxes of nails with me. The other stuff for cosmetic looks, the camo nets, and I'll do that a little bit later. I'll just carry up camo nets after camo nets. Which actually, probably something I should do instead of carrying all these planks up and shit. Really, if the server's gonna reset soon, I want to be able to get as many of these as I can. Camo nets. You know, you left your backpack on the ground in there. Alright, so basically, every one of these gets 2. Then this gets 2, and this one gets 2. Sorry. Now we want to open up here. I'll do it over here, I guess. All this paper I have to pick up later. And we just put the nails down as placeholders, basically. There should be like enough nails right here. I shouldn't have to bring up any more nails. I don't think. Still have those planks and those planks. That's what 20 planks. Put down. So I'll take those planks. We'll put them here. And we'll also put them on this one. Nothing. Okay. We will drop this out of there. Because these have to go in there. Also give me this and this. We'll put these where they belong. Hammer is best. That's how we go in there. We do this one in the ground. Alright, let's build it. I want to save the building part later. I want to go down and get as many camo nets now as I can bring up and put on all these walls. Because the more of these camo nets I get now, the more I'll have later when the server restarts. Because I need one lining both sides of this all the way through. And I think I'll start with the inner side because it's the closest and probably just the easiest one to start with. We'll go around. We're going to load up the whole watchtower with them too, all the way up. I think I'll leave the top of it open so you can openly see out of the top of it though. That's just where the roof, that's just where I'm going to build the roof at, and it's gonna, from where I envisioned it to be, it's going to be just like a little small part, or maybe just one part branched off. But we'll see how it's going to look. So we're going to grab all of these camo nets that we can take. They do have 21, so I know that I can probably fit one more by moving this stuff. Hey, Salem. No, I don't want that on the chest. This stuff can go here, and then we can grab one more. I like the UFO up there, it's pretty cool. We got our own view of the UFO. Oh, where am I going? I gotta put this camera on. Somebody on?
Sounds like
Damn. Take out all the way to here. Not too bad. Everything is locked up. There's no way of getting in here. I can traverse through all parts of my base without unlocking any of my base. So. And everything I'm building is within the confines of my base. So I'm not really going out of the base and building here today. So. No reason for anyone to bother me. That one dropped on the ground can actually stay there. I can pick it up later after server reset. I'll take these ones that will respawn first. Okay. While I'm building and all this stuff, I really should go down to minimal. I shouldn't really have all my stuff on me. I should just have like my sword and a gun. I'm not really going anywhere, doing anything. I like to keep my clock on me so I can see what time it is. I think it was where the pole was. Jesus, that scared the crap out of me.
I forgot I was watching something before I fell asleep.
It freaked me out. I was like, what is that?
Sorry.
Yeah. Okay, but we're going to be putting one. Let's see how it looks. Okay. Yeah, you don't see that. There's no real purpose for that, so don't put one there. But this side, I would like one right here, and I would like them on all of this one. Yeah, so that it's like that. Did I? I didn't mean to do that. I realized what I picked up on this head. Freaking chainsaw, and I was like, wait a minute, did I just pick up a chainsaw from inside the shed, from the outside of the shed? That's kind of weird. But okay. Didn't mean to pick up a chainsaw. Don't worry, I'll probably use it in the future. I'm sure how many stays on and drop off when the nighttime comes. So I'll start going from this way. Oops. Got the wrong thing. I'm gonna drop that. Yeah, that's as much as we need. That's as much as we need for now. Crazy. We got all the ammo nets that we need for now. I know I'm gonna need them for all the rest of it. Come later, but which I think it'll probably take at least one more watchtower kit, maybe 2 more watchtower kits to reach that top part there. Because we're gonna put one up there now. Now that we have this, and we're gonna build. Well, we're gonna build the walls around the other part now. So. The bad news is you can't see that thing anymore. Oh yeah, we can from inside. Okay, you can from inside. I know I have hammer on the ground. Did I drop a hammer on the ground? There's the pliers. Was it up there? Here it is. Yeah, still partially good. And then this one. Got a hammer in here. There we go. Okay, 20 minutes. That's plenty of time to do what I need to do here. Haha. Boom, we have our first watchtower complete. And now we gotta put up another one. Basically do the same thing over again. Well, a little more so. Because we're gonna be building all the walls going up. All the way up. Uh-oh, big connection. Just wait it out. Whew. Alright, we go up top. Let's see, they all left. So that's yeah. This is the third level. Those aren't gonna be there. I gotta put this down. Yeah, that looks about right. Here's your glitch sound effects. So yeah, you just move them over like that. That's fine. And then this side. Yeah, another watch time. I didn't bring more of the room with me. Alright. Dang, Salem? What the hell? Seems about right there. Alright, time to go down and get some more planks. Whoa! too close for comfort. Holy crap. I hate that noise. Gets me every time. You stop, I think. Let me bring up logs. Bring up logs. What are you doing, Salem? What are you doing going crazy over here? Huh? Chill out, bro. Hey. Lay down here. Lay down here. Now you're knocking stuff over, Sam, with your tail. Come on, buddy. What you doing here? What? What? You're probably like, where's my morning brushing? I usually brush them before I go to work. But I'm off today, Salem. So joke's on you, buddy. Alright. This one will get me here and there. This one might do it, actually. We'll have to see. We'll have to see what's going on here. Because, like, according to my calculations, this one here should be enough to be almost to the top of that. And then the next level would be from like here to like here. And if I put another one, I think it would extend up that way too much. I think if I put a spacer, I think if I put one here and then start over again and put one up on the top and start it from there, I think that would be best. So we're gonna watchtower here, and then we're gonna watchtower kit down again after we build this level up. I think that's the way the game plan should work, because I want it to be done right. And I can't get down the fucking steps now. Wait, no, it's not here. I don't know why I brought one of these and a shovel up. I really just needed one of these. But that's okay. Five minutes to a reset, so let's see if we can get enough planks. What do we got here? Oh yeah, we got enough. 20, and then we need another 6. Yeah, it's precisely about where I thought it would be. About where I thought it would be. At least on this level, I'll be able to see if my idea works. Domain idea for this. Which was this? Oh, would you look at that? Hmm.
There you go.
I'll take a little nap right here as the server starts to reset. It's time for our character to go night-night. We got all the stars and whatnot. You know what? Thanks, Sharon. I guess we'll end our live stream here, ladies and gentlemen. But like I said, stay tuned for future videos where we will go around and hopefully review some other servers, see if it's worth playing on or not for everybody that likes to play in our play style. Anyway, catch us next time here on DayZ or on another game on GTA. Maybe we'll live stream sometime on there. It's been a while since I live streamed on the GTA game. As you know, that I have my own, hold my own wrestling, Pure Hybrid's own wrestling. Check those videos out if you can. Those streams out too. Taking a little break from the wrestling streaming, mainly because I was wrapped up in other things. But that's a whole other story. But yeah, so check out those other videos, other content that I got out there, and we'll see you next time. It's King Ace. Peace.